Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel where today it is Sunday and Sunday now equals fun day. So this is the day where I upload either a sit down and chat kind of video, a challenge video, whether it be The Sims, whether it be about gaming, or just a topic in general that I want to discuss with you guys, or a Q&A. Sundays are basically the day that I'm not going to be uploading Let's Play parts, but I'm going to be doing like discussion videos. I'm just sat like casually chilling on my bed as if I'm talking to a friend, yet it's a camera and nobody else is in the room but you guys. But today, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and maybe a clickbait title, I haven't decided what I'm gonna call it yet, but I have an idea, and if I did, then it's probably a clickbait title. But we are gonna be talking about gaming and how it helped me to accept my sexuality. So if you are new to the channel, if you have just stumbled across this video randomly on this big website that we call YouTube, I'm Molly, I go by she, her pronouns, and I am bisexual. Which means, personally for me, I am really attracted to anyone. I'm that greedy kid in school who pretty much fancied anybody who I found attractive. That's me, your local bicon. And today I wanted to discuss how gaming and playing certain games especially helped me during my coming out process and really helped me to accept myself. So I, as a child, didn't know many gay human beings. I never really even thought about it until I started playing video games that made me think, hey, maybe I am not as straight as I once thought I was. So I played 2 of these games, well, 3 of them. I do count The Sims because The Sims, to me, is a very diverse game. It's very open, especially when the gender update dropped. That was an incredible feeling. I'm trying to remember when the gender update dropped for The Sims 4. I may have already been out when that dropped. But I know I was very vocal about how happy I was about that decision. The Sims was definitely a game that I had played all throughout my childhood. I used to romance everyone and anyone in that game, whether they be an alien, whether they be male or female. I used to romance an awful lot of people in The Sims because The Sims is pretty boring if you don't do that. If every family is the same every single time you play that game, if you have a man and a wife and they get married, it can get pretty boring. So you want to spice it up a little bit, which is definitely what I did as a child as well. But there were 2 other games, minus The Sims, that really struck a chord with me, and I played them both on my channel, both when I was quite new to YouTube, and both were non-Sims games. The first one was Gone Home, which is a game by Fulbright Studios. Some of you may not have ever heard of Gone Home. If you are quite new to the channel, you probably have never even seen my playthrough of it. But it's basically about a girl who returns from college, I'm fairly sure. She's basically been traveling or been to college. She returns to her house and the house is completely empty. Her parents aren't there and her younger sister isn't there. But she explores, you play as the sister from like a first-person perspective, and it's basically a point and click. You explore the house, find notes from your sister, and unravel the story of what's happened and where everybody in your family has got to. And this game really struck a chord with me because your sister actually comes out to you in that process. Spoiler alert! I should have probably said that before I said, oh well. You guys can go watch it if you want to, but I wasn't out at the time of playing this game. Not even to myself, really. I was in the process of starting to question maybe I was into girls a little bit more than the usual, I guess you could say. So I was definitely starting to question throughout my 3 years at university. Those were definitely like my questioning years for sure. The 3 years that I spent up in Newcastle in uni, and I played this game. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I actually have never gone back and replayed it just because I feel like there were so many feelings whilst I was doing that Let's Play. If you go back, it's probably awful. I was probably super quiet and probably super timid because that's the way I used to be. So I really can't remember like all the feelings that I felt. I know it was very emotional and I was relieved at the end of the game, and it was definitely a stepping stone for me to be like, okay, like I can see where this character is coming from, and I could definitely see myself feeling that way about a girl, 110%. So that was kind of the first game where I started questioning, I guess. I think I played it back in 2014, maybe. And then the second game, as you guys know, I am a die-hard fan of Life is Strange, and Life is Strange is probably the game that had the most feeling for me. It was probably the game that I've most connected with before in my life, which is scary. If you have ever connected to maybe a TV character, a film character, a game character, if you've ever felt so strongly about a story, you will know all the feelings that I'm talking about. It's when something hits you so deep in your soul that you're like, wow, this is how I feel. Like, this is exactly all the feelings that I'm feeling right now. So the third episode of Life is Strange came out in, I think it was around May 2015, which was the time I was actually finishing my university course, and I had come to realize by that point that I did have an attraction not only to males. So when that third episode came out, if you have played the game, that kiss was truly my wake-up moment. If you go back and watch my original Life is Strange...
For example, I dare you to kiss me.
What? What the hell?
I double dare you. Kiss me now.
What? What is this? Oh, we're gonna do it. Why not? Let's see what she does.
And then skip forward a few years, I'm fully out, I'm in a very committed relationship with my girlfriend, and I play Before the Storm.
Guys, what the hell? Holy shit.
My babies! The differences in those two people is actually insane. I cannot believe that I'm even the same person as I was back when I played the original Life is Strange, especially that episode. Episode 3 really felt like the catalyst for me. With that kiss, I'm so glad I didn't have a face cam, because I think I was suppressing my feelings at that point. I was suppressing my sexuality. I don't know why I ever felt like I had to suppress it, because I know my university friends and obviously my family are so open and welcoming and loving about me and who I am. I look back on it and I'm like, why did I ever feel the need to suppress that and not tell anybody this major secret that I had about myself? And it was a scary moment. Like, I felt very alone, even though I know I wasn't. I mean, videos like this exist online, which help me to deal with all of my emotions. And that's kind of why I'm doing this video as well. But I harbored those emotions, and if I had had a face cam back in 2015 when I played through that episode, you guys probably would have seen the gay panic written all over my face. Like, I wanted to squeal. I had been shipping Max and Chloe so hard up until that point in the game, and I wish I had just let it out. I wish I had jumped for joy. I wish I had squealed. I wish I would have shown my enthusiasm. But back then, little little young baby gay Molly was just like, oh, I just did it because I wanted to see Chloe's reaction. No, you did it because you were hella gay and you wanted to kiss your best friend. That's exactly why you did it. And I'm not saying because you ship a male and a male ship, or you ship a female and a female ship, I'm not saying that that makes you queer in any sense of the word. If you are, then that's great. But if you are a straight ally who just absolutely loves these characters and ships those two people together, that's completely fine as well. As long as it's not like overtly sexualized, like you aren't harming anyone to ship those people together as long as you think they're a good match for each other. But that moment was definitely the moment where all of the feels hit me at once, and I was like, I don't think I would be feeling this happy and this ecstatic about having that representation if it didn't affect me in some way. And then that was probably the moment where I started having female-female relationships in my Sims Let's Plays. From that moment moving forward, especially on my channel, I wanted to put that representation out there. And again, for the next 6 months, probably from the May to the December, I kept that a secret to myself. I came to terms with that in my own mind and my own body, and I was like, okay, this is who I am. It's really not as scary as I thought it was. This is just me. But it still took me those 6 months in between just to get used to giving myself a label and giving my sexuality a label. But Life is Strange was really a switch on moment for me. So gaming can help so much. Gaming gets such a bad rep sometimes. You hear all these headlines, my kids are addicted to Fortnite, or this violent person used to play GTA as a child, and you hear a lot of negative headlines surrounding gaming in general, but gaming can be so welcoming and so accepting, and it can do representation better than traditional media can, because games companies, especially indie developers, they aren't scared of having a big brand name and yet being put down or have this backlash against them for having same-sex relationships or different types of sexuality representation or gender representation in their games, which is an incredible, incredible thing. And that pretty much wraps it up for my coming to terms with my bisexuality through gaming. If you guys have had any moments like this, whether it be through games, whether it be through Life is Strange or Gone Home, or any other game that you have played or seen anyone else play, if you've had that wake-up moment through gaming, that you've connected to someone or some storyline more than you've connected to anything in your entire life, I would love to hear your stories in the comments if you have anything like that. I'm intrigued to know if anyone kind of got the same feelings from Life is Strange especially as myself. And I want to thank games developers for not caring about the backlash that they could get from a main title game, including the diversity and representation that we so dearly want more of as well, and also really, really appreciate. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It may have just been a jumble of a lot of ideas, but I just wanted to kind of sit down and chat with you guys, so I apologize if this turns out to be like a super long ramble, but I wanted to kind of delve into that a little bit and really like think about like a throwback back to my channel in those days where I wasn't out. But thank you all for watching, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye guys!